minstrel show was the main form of entertainment in the U.S. in antebellum America, as well after, into the 1890s, early 1900. And minstrel shows were white men who dressed up in blackface, and they portrayed stereotypical, like tropes of what African Americans were. Enslaved people typically is what they were portraying. And they were doing this like a comic effect. And so this went on for just generations, and singing was a big part of their act. And it actually became so popular that there began to be African Americans who would also become involved in these minstrel shows as well. They were like vaudeville before vaudeville, so you could go anywhere in major cities and see them performed. And there was a lot of money to be made in writing songs to be performed at minstrel shows. And then those same songs would be turned into sheet music, which were sold for people to perform in their homes. This was entertainment. This was kind of like how people will go to a concert today. They all are familiar with how popular it is and how much it kind of changed our popular culture. Like in terms of the musical Hamilton, and everybody knows the songs and can sing them. I began to sort of put things together and realize that the song, My Old Kentucky Home, was really part of this minstrel culture. Stephen Foster wrote it. It was written as a pro-abolitionist piece of literature. If you look at it, it's written from the perspective of a black man who is missing his family because he's been sold down the river. And it was considered an abolitionist text, but then it was portrayed in these very racist minstrel shows. It just became one of the most performed songs in minstrel shows and caught on and became extremely popular. And the idea that it was part of this abolitionist movement sort of disappeared over time. That part of it kind of lessened and kind of took on something else, this sort of memory-laden nostalgia for Kentucky.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will conclude this part of the entertainment with a brand new song sung here in Chicago for the first time on any stage by myself and company. You Camptown ladies sing this song.
Do-da, do-da.
You Camptown racetrack 5 miles long.
Oh, do-da day.
I come down with my hat caved in.
Do-da, do-da.
I go back home with a pocket full of tin.
Oh, do-da day.
Wind around all night, wind around all day. I bet my money on the bobtail nag. Somebody bet on the bay.
Stephen Foster, he did not set out to write minstrel show music. He saw that as low culture. That was culture for, lower class people, working class people. He wanted to really write something that was highbrow to kind of get some acclaim that way, but that's just not where the money was. And so he had a large family to support. He has several songs that were used in minstrel shows like Camptown Races, Oh Susanna. He had to continue writing what was popular at the time, what people were buying. There were actually protests by African Americans against minstrel shows. And then it does begin to go away with the advent of changing music styles and with movies, that kind of thing. But you can still see these stock characters. So for example, I had Frank X. Walker who came and spoke to my students, and he told them that Mickey Mouse, if you go back and look at Steamboat Willie and some of the first ones, that there's actually, that image is based on minstrel shows. And I can't unsee that now. Whenever I look at Mickey Mouse, I think about those images of minstrel shows that I've seen, and I see the connection. I had absolutely no idea just how central minstrel culture was to that time period and how much of our entertainment and pop culture stems from minstrel culture. And so this has kind of opened my eyes to just how rich our history is and how much it does fit with the national story.